He has made everything beautiful in His time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Sometimes God speaks in the quiet moments, between one breath and the next, between one rep and the next. This is my story.
I was going through the motions, weights in my hand, but my soul was dying slowly. Couldn't understand why I kept showing up. The train is broken temple, when inside I felt so empty. Life felt so simple to end though. Rep number 7, halfway through the set, tears mixed with sweat, hadn't broken down yet, but something shifted in that moment of strain. Between the push and the pull, pleasure and the pain, I felt a whisper in my spirit, not audible but clear. I see you, I know you, and I'm right here. Not condemning my depression or my suicidal thoughts, it's acknowledging the battles that my soul had fought. And in that sacred space between Rep 8 and 9, when my muscles burned and I was on the grind, He reminded me that I was fearfully and wonderfully made, that even in this darkness His love wouldn't fade. In the space between the struggle, between the wait and the release, He whispered life into my lungs and gave my broken heart His peace. He loved me back to life, in between one rep and the next. In the gym of my despair, He showed up and blessed. Every strain was a prayer, every breath was a cry. He loved me back to life, taught my soul to fly. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. Turned my training into worship, my pain into His rest. Found me in the iron, in the struggle, and the sweat. He loved me back to life, between one rep. Now every workout is a reminder that I'm still here, that I survived another day, conquered another fear. Every rep is evidence that God's not done with me, that between the sets and rest He's setting captives free. See, the gym became my sanctuary when church felt too heavy, when praise songs mocked my pain and sermons weren't ready to address the real darkness that was eating me alive. But in the weight room, in the silence, that's where I survived, not because of the iron or the endorphin high, but because in pushing weight I was pushing back the lie, that my life had no purpose, that I should give in. Every rep was defiance, every set was a win against the enemy's whispers that I'm better off dead. Jesus met me in the reps and this is what He said: your body is a temple, treat it with respect. In between each repetition, let me resurrect. In the space between the struggle, between the wait and the release, He whispered life into my lungs and gave my broken heart His peace. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. In the gym of my despair, He showed up and blessed. Every strain was a prayer, every breath was a cry. He loved me back to life, taught my soul to fly. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. Turned my training into worship, my pain into His rest. Found me in the iron, in the struggle, in the sweat. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. Between the reps, He spoke. Between the sets, He was there. In my weakness, He showed He cared. He was struggle, He was present. Every burden lifted, He took my fear. Not in church, in the gym, not in a service, in the sweat. He loved me back to life, won't let me forget. Won't forget that He beat me to us anywhere. In our darkest place, between one rep and the next, He showed His face. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. In the gym of my despair, He showed up and blessed. Every strain was a prayer, every breath was a cry. He loved me back to life, taught my soul to fly. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. Turned my training into worship, my pain into His rest. Found me in the iron, in the struggle, in the sweat. He loved me back to life, between one rep and the next. When one rep and the next, that's where He met me. In my darkest hour, in my pain, He set me free. Is a testimony of His grace. He loved me back to life, brought me face to face. So if you're in the gym tonight, pushing through the pain, if you're barely holding on, feeling so insane, know that Jesus meets you in the spaces in between. The reps, the breaths, the moments where you've been. He doesn't need a church building, He doesn't need a stage. He shows up in your struggle, on the darkest page. Between the reps, He speaks. Between the sets, He heals. In the struggle, He loves. Back to life, He reveals. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. Psalm 103:8. I was running out of air, lungs burning in my chest, strength completely gone, nothing left to give my best. But when I couldn't breathe another breath on my own, His mercy filled my lungs and carried me home. Yeah. Yeah, I was in the middle of the hardest that I faced. Every muscle screaming, heart pounding, legs encased in cement. Couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Standing on the edge of a physical brink of collapse, of giving up, of hitting that wall where your body says stop and you start to fall. But something kept me moving, something filled my lungs with breath I didn't have, strength from where it comes. Not from within me, not from my reserve, but from a source external, from the one who serves as my provider when I got nothing left, my sustainer when I'm gasping for breath. Lamentations 3:22-23 says his mercies never cease. They're new every morning, they bring me peace and oxygen when I can't breathe on my own. His mercy becomes the air in the zone where I'm pushing beyond my limits, beyond my capacity. That's when his mercy shows up with tenacity, filling my lungs with supernatural breath, pulling me back from the edge of death. Not just physical but spiritual too. When I'm dying inside, when I don't know what to do, his mercy breathes life into my dead places, restores my soul through his amazing grace. When I couldn't take another breath, when my strength had nothing left, his mercy filled my lungs with air, and I knew that he was there. When my strength failed, his mercy became my oxygen. Every breath I took was proof that he was confident. I'd make it through, I pushed through, I'd survive. His mercy kept me breathing, kept me alive. When my strength failed, his mercy became my oxygen. The atmosphere of grace where I begin again to fight, to push, to persevere. His mercy in my lungs dissolved my fear. Yeah, yeah, dissolve my fear. Yeah, dissolve my fear. His mercy in my lungs dissolve my fear. Yeah, dissolve my fear. Yeah, dissolve my fear. His mercy in my lungs. Genesis 2:7 says God breathed life in a man, made from dust, giving breath from his hand. That's what happens every time I feel like giving up. His mercy breathes life into my empty cup, fills me with strength that isn't mine to claim, with breath that comes from calling on his name. When I'm depleted, when I'm running on fumes, his mercy is the oxygen that assumes control of my respiratory system divine. Not biological but spiritual is designed for how he sustains us when we can't sustain ourselves, when we're drowning in life and crying out for help. Acts 17:25 says he gives everyone life and breath, not just once a birth but daily, saving us from death that comes when we try to do it all alone. His mercy is the breath that brings us home, to his presence, to his peace, to his power. Every breath is a gift in every hour, not something we produce but something we receive from a merciful God who makes us believe that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. Philippians 4:13, he goes to any length to sustain us, to keep us, to breathe life into our lungs when we're facing strife. Ezekiel 30 says, valley of dry bones, God asked, can these live? When they were overthrown by death, by decay, by hopelessness complete. But God breathed on them, made them stand on their feet. That's what his mercy does when we're dead inside, when we got no strength, no hope, nowhere to hide. His mercy breathes life into our dry places, resurrects what was dead through his embraces. Job 33:4 says the breath of the Almighty gives me life. Not my effort, not my striving, not my fight, but his mercy breathing into me constantly. That's what keeps me alive. That's what sets me free from thinking I have to do this on my own power. His mercy is my oxygen every single hour. When my strength failed, his mercy became my oxygen. Every breath I took was proof that he was confident. I'd make it through, I was through, I'd survive. His mercy kept me breathing, kept me alive. When my strength failed, his mercy became my oxygen. The atmosphere of grace where I began to fight, to push, to persevere. His mercy in my lungs is up my every breath. It is finished. John 19:30. I I was stuck at the bottom, way too heavy to press. Arms shaking, breath failing, nothing left to express. But in my weakness, Jesus whispered, I'll complete what you started but can't finish. Let me bring victory sweet. Yeah. I was halfway through the set, hit rep number 8, and the weight felt impossible, too much on my plate. Both literally in the gym and metaphorically in life, carrying burdens I couldn't bear, cutting like a knife. Through my confidence, through my strength, through my pride, that told me I could do this, that I didn't need a guide. But there I was stuck under iron, I couldn't lift. Arms trembling, about to quit, about to drift into failure, into defeat, into giving up the fight. When something spoke inside me, in that moment tight, with tension, with struggle, with the edge of my ability. Let me finish what you started, that's his facility. And taking our incomplete efforts and making them whole. Our failed attempts at turning them into goals, accomplished not by our power but by his grace. Philippians 1:6 says he who began the work will complete it in place in us, not leaving us halfway, not abandoning the process, but seeing it through to completion. That's his promise. So I surrendered in that moment, said, God, I need you here. I can't finish this rap, can't push through this fear of failure, of looking weak, of not being enough. Help me. And suddenly the weight that was so tough felt lighter, not physically but internally. I found strength that wasn't mine, pushing the bar off the ground. When I couldn't finish what I tried to do, Jesus said, I'll complete it. Let me work through you. The rip I couldn't finish, Jesus finished in me. Not by my strength, but by his grace, setting me free from the lie that I have to do everything on my own. His power completes what I start when my strength is overthrown. The rip I couldn't finish, Jesus finished in me, teaching me that his grace is sufficient when I can't succeed in my own ability. That's when he steps in strong. The rip I couldn't finish, been completing all along.
When I couldn't finish
what I tried to do,
Jesus said, I'll complete it.
Yeah, let me work through you. Yeah, yeah. The rip I couldn't finish, Jesus finished in me. Not by my strength, but by his grace, setting me free from the lie that I have to do everything on my own. His power completes what I start. The rip I couldn't finish, Jesus finished in me, teaching me that his grace is sufficient when I can't succeed in my own ability. That's when he steps in strong. I rip I couldn't finish. Hebrews 12 who calls Jesus the author and finisher of our faith, not just the starter but the completer. He sees through to the break of doubt, a weakness of our inability to follow through when he finishes in us what we started but couldn't pursue to completion on our own. That's his character displayed in my failed rep, in my weakness betrayed, my limitation, my humanity, my need for divine assistance. That's not defeat, that's acknowledging his existence as the source of strength, that's the power within. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says the strength is made perfect when we're weak, when we can't, when we fail to complete. That's when his power shows up and takes the seat of control, of authority, of getting it done. Not through our effort, but through his son, who completed the work of salvation we couldn't do. Finished it on the cross, said it is finished for me and you. So every incomplete rep, every failed attempt I make points me back to the gospel, to the finished work that break the chains of performance-based identity. I don't have to finish everything perfectly, because Jesus already finished what matters most. The work of redemption, that's my boast. Not in my ability to complete, but in his. That's what true victory is. Finished at 11. The spirit who raised Jesus from the dead lives in me, gives life to my mortal body instead of leaving me in my weakness to struggle alone. He completes what I start, makes my weaknesses strong. To display his power, his glory, his might, working through my limitations to bring light to the truth that we're dependent on him for every breath, every rep, every step. He rescues from death our failed attempts, our incomplete start, and finishes them through us with his part of divine power working in mortal frame. That's the mystery Paul talks about, Jesus' name living in us, completing what we can. That's not defeat, that's the divine grant of grace to finish well, not by our might, but by his spirit giving us the fire.
Well, I couldn't finish, Jesus finished it. Not by my strength, but by his grace, setting me free. One that I had to take in my own. His power completes what I started, my strength is overthrown.
The rep I couldn't finish, Jesus finished in me, teaching me that his grace is sufficient when I can't succeed in my own ability. That's when he steps in strong. The rep I couldn't finish, been completing all along.
He finishes
what I start,
complete the work
in my heart,
not my power,
but his grace
finishes strong.
in every place.
Where I'm weak,
He is strong
completing me.
all along.
Wherever I fail,
He complete,
that's his love.
so sweet. Oh, loaded the bar with iron plates today, but my heart was carrying more weight than I could say. The physical burden was nothing compared to the load that I've been carrying in silence down this lonely road. No, no, no. Yeah. People see me in the gym pushing heavyweight, think I'm strong, got it together, handling my fate, but they don't see the burden I wake up with every morning, the emotional weight I carry without any warning. To anyone around me, I keep it hidden deep, behind a smile, behind the grind, behind the sleep, deprivation from lying, awake with anxious thoughts about everything I'm carrying, all the battles I fought, alone in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. The weight of depression digging a hole deeper every day, the weight of expectations from family, from work, from my own aspirations that feel impossible to me when I'm barely surviving. The weight of grief from loss, the weight of striving to be strong for everyone else when I'm falling apart. My heart was heavy long before I loaded that bar from the start of my workout. The physical weight is just a metaphor for what I've been carrying emotionally at my core for months, for years, accumulating like compound interest, until the weight is crushing and I'm living in the stress, but hiding it well, performing strength I don't possess. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all who are weary and stressed, and I'll give you rest. But I've been trying to rest in my own strength, and it's not working, I confess. The weight on the bar was nothing compared to the weight on my heart. I've been carrying alone what I should have brought to your throne. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, carrying burdens in silence without a cause, to prove I'm strong enough to handle it all. But Jesus wants to carry it before I fall. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, the real weight wasn't iron but emotional scars that I've been hiding while pretending I'm okay. But Jesus sees the hard weight I carry every day. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, carrying burdens in silence without a cause, to prove I'm strong enough to handle it all. But Jesus wants to carry it before I fall. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, the real weight wasn't iron but emotional scars that I've been hiding while pretending I'm okay. But Jesus sees the hard weight I carry every day. So 55:22 says cast your cares on the Lord, and He'll sustain you. That's His accord, but I've been casting my cares on the barbell instead, trying to sweat out the pain, trying to lift the dread that lives in my chest, thinking if I train hard enough, the emotional weight will disappear when things get tough. But it doesn't work that way, the gym can't heal the wounds inside that only Jesus can seal. With His grace, with His presence, with His love divine, I've been trying to bench press anxiety like it's fine to handle mentally through physical exertion. But mental health needs more than gym immersion. It needs prayer, it needs therapy, it needs community, it needs honesty about the weight we carry individually. So I'm done pretending the only weight I lift is physical. I'm acknowledging the hard weight is critical to address, to bring to Jesus, to lay at His feet. 1 Peter 4:7 says cast all anxiety on Him complete. Release of the burden we're not meant to carry alone. He cares for us, He wants to make our pain His own, to bear it on the cross. He already did the work of carrying our hard weight, so we wouldn't have to learn in darkness with it, but could walk in His light free from the emotional weight that's been crushing me. Isaiah 53:4 says He took up our pain and bore our suffering. He carried our strain, not just our sin but our sorrows too. Our emotional weight, that's what He'll do if we bring it to Him, if we cast it on Him, instead of trying to deadlift depression in the gym. As if physical strength translates to mental resilience, when really we need divine assistance to carry the hard weight we've accumulated through trauma, through loss, through dreams that faded, through disappointment, through rejection, through pain. Jesus wants to carry it, to break the chain. Trying to be strong in our own power when His strength is available every hour. For the hard weight that's crushing us silently, while we pretend everything's fine violently. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, carrying burdens in silence without a cause, to prove I'm strong enough to handle it all. But Jesus wants to carry it before I fall. My heart was heavy long before the bar was, the real weight wasn't iron but emotional scars that I've been hiding while pretending I'm okay. But Jesus sees the hard weight I carry every day. Hard weight, heavier than iron. Hard weight, emotional burden I was trying to carry alone, but Jesus said, give it to me, don't carry that dread any longer. Cast it on me, I'll carry your heart. From the burden of pretending you're strong, I'll be your strength. trained my body to be strong for every physical fight, but the real battle was spiritual, out of my sight. My muscles couldn't win when my soul was fighting, until Jesus stepped in with power ignited. Yeah, I thought if I got strong enough physically, I could handle anything, face any enemy that came my way in life, in relationships and pain. So I trained hard, built muscle, pushed through the strain, day after day, year after year, getting physically fit. But there was a battle raging inside that I couldn't quit. With physical strength alone, it was mental, spiritual warfare, depression, addiction, anxiety everywhere. In my mind, in my heart, in my soul deep. And no amount of bench press can help me sleep through the night without nightmares, without panic attacks, without the weight of trauma sitting on my back like a literal weight I couldn't lift or remove. No matter how many deadlifts, couldn't improve my mental state, my emotional health, my spiritual condition, until I realized I needed divine intervention. Not just motivation, not just discipline or grit, but supernatural power to overcome this pit. I was in 2 Corinthians 10:4, says the weapons we fight with aren't the weapons of the world, but had divine power to demolish strongholds. That's what I'm facing in my mind, strongholds that physical strength couldn't unbind. I needed Jesus to step into the battle I was losing. His spiritual power, that's what I be choosing. When my muscles couldn't win the battle in my soul, Jesus stepped in with power and made me whole. Jesus stepped into the battle my muscles couldn't win. The spiritual warfare that was raging within. Physical strength wasn't enough to break these chains, but his power shattered what in me remained. Jesus stepped into the battle my muscles couldn't win. He fought for me when I was too weak to begin. The fight against forces I couldn't see or touch. His spiritual strength was more than enough. 1 Samuel 17, David and Goliath's fight. David didn't win with physical might, but with faith in God who delivered him before. From the lion, from the bear, from every war he faced, he knew the battle was the Lord's. Not his own strength, not his own source, but God fighting for him, God giving victory. That's what I learned when I faced my own enemy. A mental illness, a spiritual oppression, a demonic attacks of deep oppression that no amount of training could overcome. I needed Jesus, I needed God's son to step into the battle with his authority, to speak to the demons. You have no priority in this life, in this soul, in this child of mine. Leave now in Jesus' name. That's the line that breaks the chains, that's captives free. Luke 10:19 says he's giving us authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, over all power of the enemy. That's our defense tower, not muscles, not might, not physical ability, but spiritual authority through Christ's victory on the cross where he defeated sin and death. That's the power that gives us spiritual breath to fight and win battles we can't see. Ephesians 6 talks about the armor we need spiritually. Belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, helmet of salvation, sword of the spirit is safe. To say physical training can't equip us for this fight. We need Jesus stepping in with his might to win battles our muscles couldn't even touch. His power in our weakness is more than enough. Yeah. Zechariah 4:6, not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord, every hour. That's how battles are won in the spiritual realm. Not by strength, but by God at the helm. 2 Chronicles 20:15, the battle's not yours, but God's, he fights for you, he opens doors of victory when you're facing impossible odds. When your muscles can't win, but you serve the God who can, who does, who will fight for you. When you're too weak, when you don't know what to do. Romans 8:37 says we're more than conquerors, not through our power, but through his honors, given to us freely through Christ who loved us. Jesus stepped in, that's who we trust, to win battles we can, to fight wars unseen. His spiritual power makes us clean.
Jesus stepped into the battle, my muscles couldn't win. The spiritual warfare that is breaking everything. Jesus' no strength wasn't enough to break these chains, but his power shattered what in me remained. Jesus stepped into the battle, my muscles couldn't win. He fought for me when I was too weak to begin. The fight against forces I couldn't see or touch.
His spiritual strength was more than enough.
He fought for me.
I don't fight alone.
His spiritual power
Is my battle.
muscles can't win,
What the soul fights
but Jesus steps in.
with his might.
Demons flee,
Oh,
in his name.
oh,
Strongholds break,
oh.
he's the flame.
That burns away all darkness here. Jesus stepped in, conquer fear.
But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, Romans 5:8. I had nothing left, no strength to take another step. My fight was gone, I reached the end, completely wrecked. But when I fell to my knees with nothing more to give, Christ ran toward me with the strength I need to live. Yeah, I've been fighting for so long I forgot what rest felt like. Every day was a battle, every night was a fight. Against depression, against anxiety, against the pain. A life that kept coming like relentless rain, pouring down on me, drowning me slowly. And I kept training, kept grinding, acting to hold me like I had it all together, like I was strong enough to handle everything life threw at me when things got rough. But inside I was dying, losing the will to continue. Every rep in the gym felt like my final venue. For pretending I could do this, pretending I was okay, when really I was barely making it through each day. Emotionally exhausted, spiritually bleeding, physically training, but mentally defeated by the weight of everything I was carrying alone. And I reached a point where I couldn't even tone down the pain anymore. Couldn't fake the smile, couldn't go another step, couldn't run another mile. I ran out of fight completely, had nothing left inside. No more strength to pretend, no more will to hide. The truth that I was broken, that I needed help desperately, that I couldn't do this alone. No matter how emphatically I tried to convince myself I was strong enough, I wasn't, and that's when I saw Christ running toward me through the rough.
When I had nothing left, when my fight was gone, Christ didn't wait for me, He came running strong. I ran out of fight, Christ ran toward me, didn't wait for me to get it together. He saw me in my brokenness, in my complete exhaustion, and He ran to me with love and no caution. I ran out of fight, Christ ran toward me when I couldn't come to Him. He came to see about me, about my pain, about my desperate state. He didn't wait for me to reach Him, He didn't hesitate. It didn't left when my fight was gone. Christ didn't wait for me, He came running strong. I ran out of fight, Christ ran toward me, didn't wait for me to get it together. He saw me in my brokenness, in my complete exhaustion, and He ran to me with love and no caution. I ran out of fight, Christ ran toward me when I couldn't come to Him. He came to see about me, about my pain, about my desperate state. He didn't wait for me to reach Him, He didn't hesitate. Luke 15 tells about the prodigal son who squandered everything, thought his life was done. But when he decided to return home in shame, his father saw him from far away and ran without blame to embrace him, to restore him, to welcome him back. That's what Christ did for me when I felt under attack, from life, from myself, from the enemy's lies, that I was too far gone, too broken for God to recognize. As His own, but Romans 5:8 says, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He doesn't wait for winners to come to Him, He comes to us in our mess, in our brokenness, in our complete distress. That's what He did for me when I ran out of fight. He ran toward me with His love, with His might, to save me, to restore me, to give me what I lack. Not because I earned it, but because He wants me back. In His arms, in His love, in His grace divine. Philippians 3:12 says Christ Jesus has made me His. That's the sign that I belong to Him, not because of my strength, but because He went to any length to pursue me, to reach me, to save me from death. Both spiritual and the literal loss of breath. I was experiencing from depression chokehold. He ran toward me when my story was being told, of defeat, of giving up, of losing the race. But He rewrote the ending with His amazing grace, that pursues us when we can't pursue Him, that finds us when our hope is growing dim, that runs toward us when we're running out of fight. That's the character of God. He doesn't wait for right timing or perfect conditions or us getting cleaned up. He runs toward us in our mess, fills our cup. Yeah. Isaiah 23:2 says, when you pass through waters, I'll be with you. Through rivers, through slaughters of your hope, your dreams, your fight to go on, I'll be there. You won't be overpowered. Psalm 23 says, even in the darkest valley, I won't fear because you're with me. You rally to my side when I'm weak, when I can't stand. You run toward me, take my hand. That's not theology, that's reality I live. When I had nothing left to give, Christ ran toward me, everything I need. His presence, His power, His love, indeed. I ran out of fight. Christ ran toward me, didn't wait for me to get it together. He saw me in my brokenness, in my complete exhaustion, and He ran to me with love and no caution. I ran out of fight. Christ ran toward me when I couldn't come to Him. He came to see about me, about my pain, about me, about my desperate state. He didn't wait for me to reach Him, He didn't hesitate. He ran to me in my weakness, didn't wait for completeness. He pursued me in my breaking, His love never forsake. I ran out, He ran toward. That's my Savior, that's my Lord. Pursuing love, never ending. Christ running from me, be sancted. Yeah. was on the last rep of the hardest that I faced. Every muscle fiber screaming, heart beating at a pace that felt unsustainable. Hands shaking on the bar, questioning if I could finish, questioning how far I could push my body, push my mind, push my will. When everything in me wanted to quit, wanna be still, to rest, to stop, to let the weight come down. But something held that bar steady when my grip came unwound. It wasn't my physical strength that was completely gone. My hands were trembling violently, trying to hold on. But there was a peace, a stillness in the shake, and a presence that was stronger than my body's breaking point. It was supernatural, unexplainable by science. How the bar stays steady in my hand, defiance of physics, of probability of my obvious weakness. Philippians 4:7 talks about his peace's uniqueness that transcends understanding. God's hearts and minds, that's what held that bar. When my strength declines to nothing, to zero, to complete exhaustion, his peace became the grip, became the caution against dropping the weight, against quitting the rep, against giving up when I had nothing left except his peace holding what my hands could not. His presence in the struggle, that's what I got. In that moment of complete physical failure, his peace was my anchor, my divine jailer, keeping me locked in to finish what I started. Not by my mind, but by the peace he imparted. When my hands were shaking, when I thought I'd fall, his peace held the bar steady, his grace held it all. When my hands shook on the last rep, his peace held the bar, steadier than my strength could ever be by far. It wasn't physical power keeping that weight from falling, it was supernatural peace answering my call. When my hands shook on the last rep, his peace held the bar, teaching me his presence reaches wherever we are. Even in the gym, even in the struggle physical, his peace becomes the strength that makes the impossible typical.
2 Thessalonians 3:16 said, may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way, not just wealth or comfort, but peace in the struggle, in the strain, in the moment where you're shaking from the pain of pushing your limits, of testing your ability. That's where his peace shows up with stability. Beyond your natural capacity, beyond your grip, strength. Peace goes to any length to sustain you, to hold you, to keep you from failing. Not because you're strong, but because he's prevailing over your weakness with his power divine. That's what happened when my hands couldn't hold the line between success and failure, between finishing and quitting. His peace stepped in and started hitting different, supernatural, unexplainable by training. How the boss stay steady while my hands was training visibly. Obviously, clearly failing physically, but spiritually held by peace mystically, working in the natural realm through supernatural means. That's what Colossians 3:15 means when it says, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. It's not just emotional, but practical. It starts to affect the physical, to stabilize the shaking, to hold what's breaking, to prevent forsaking the fight when you're exhausted, the rep when hands tremble. His peace becomes a strength, becomes a symbol of his presence in every area of life we face, including the gym, including the race. We run physically and spiritually every day. His peace holds the bar when we can't, that's his way of showing us he's present, he's power, he's real. Not just in church, but in how we live, how we feel. His presence in the mundane, in the work of grind. His peace holding what we can't keep aligning.
Page 14:27 says, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives. This peace breaks through circumstances, through weakness, through failing hands. This peace from Jesus understands what we need beyond our natural ability. It provides supernatural stability in moments where we're shaking, where we're about to drop. His peace becomes the strength that makes us not stop, prematurely not giving up too soon. His peace tunes us to a different tune than our bodies screaming for us to quit. His peace says you can finish this, commit to one more second, one more breath, one more try. My peace will hold the bar, don't rely on your strength alone. Rely mine flowing through your trembling hands. That's what I'll do. That's what happened. That's what he does.
His peace holds what we can't because
He's stronger, he's present,
he's intimately aware of every struggle,
and he's always there.
You would search me, Lord, and you know me. You perceive my thoughts from afar. Psalm 139:1-2. I buried my pain beneath the iron and sweat, but Jesus saw through the facade I set.
I became obsessed with the gym after she left. Training twice a day, trying to manifest a different version that wasn't broken inside. Using ways of therapy, using burn to hide the pain of abandonment, rejection, sting. Physical exhaustion to suppress everything. Thinking if I got fit enough, the pain will melt. But you can't train away what the heart has felt. Running from my feelings on the treadmill, lifting away trauma with each brutal drill. Psalm 39 says God knows thoughts from afar. He sees through the workout to the wounded heart. I thought I hit it well, but honey, I yearned in the grind. But Jesus saw through it all, and he spoke to my mind. Jesus found me in the pain I hid, under the work I saw. Through the strength I was faking, saw what I fought with. He gently uncovered what I buried in my fitness confession. Didn't let me keep hiding from my hurt. Jesus found me in the garden, met me in the gym and in the dirt of my broken heart that I covered with sweat. Met me in the gym and in the dirt of my broken heart that I covered with sweat. Jeremiah 17 said the heart is deceitful, but the Lord searches and sees all that's real. I was using fitness as avoidance of medication, numbing with endorphins, needing his salvation. He wanted to heal me only, not maintain me frail. Spoke to my soul, let's address what you conceal. Not just physically fit, but emotionally healed. Let me uncover the pain so it can be revealed. I broke down in the gym that day, started crying during my work, I couldn't walk away. He found me there and started my sentence to freedom, to healing, to his divine praise. 17 says nothing is hidden from God's eyes, he sees it all. 3 says he heals the brokenhearted, that's where he started with me in the gym. Uncovering pain, I hit like pouring rain. Jesus found me because he loves me that much. Jesus found me in the pain I hid, under the work I saw. Through the strength I was faking, saw what I fought without. He gently uncovered what I buried in my fitness confession. Didn't let me keep hiding from my hurt. Jesus found me in the pain, met me in the gym and in the dirt of my broken heart that I covered with sweat. Found me in my hiding, his love keeps providing complete healing, not just fitness. If you're using the gym to hide from pain, know that Jesus sees what you concealed. He wants complete restoration, not just fitness but emotional salvation. He'll meet you in the gym and gently say, let's address what you're avoiding today. That's not judgment, that's love pursuing healing. He found you because he loves you. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 14:7-3.
I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. Ezekiel 36. I prayed for muscles, for power, for physical might, but he gave me something better, something out of sight. Not strength in my arms, but renewal in my core. A new spirit inside me, worth so much more. Worth so much more. Yeah, I came to God asking for strength to face my battles. Physical, mental, emotional, all the chains and rattles holding me back from being free. I thought strength was the answer, the missing key. So I pray God make me stronger consistently, expecting him to build my muscles, increase capacity to handle stress, to carry weight, to live tenaciously. But what he did was different than what I requested. Instead of making me stronger, he addressed what infested my spirit with darkness, brokenness, death. He didn't give me muscles, he gave me spiritual breath. New life, new heart, new way of seeing. Not just stronger in body, but transforming soul. Not just able to carry more, but completely whole. He gave me a new spirit, Ezekiel 36. Removed my heart of stone, gave me heart he fixed. A flesh, alive, responsive to his voice. Not just stronger, but different, giving new choice. Not just ability to muscle through, but humble. Dependence on him, not my strength, but his power. That's better than the strength I asked for initially. Because strength fades, but a new spirit eternally sustains me, defines me, guides me home. A new spirit to roam in freedom and purpose divine. I asked for strength to carry the load, but he gave me new life, a different road. I wanted strength, he gave me a new spirit instead. Not just power in my muscles, but life from the dead, rising in my soul,
transforming from within. Not just ability to fight, but freedom from sin. I want His strength, He gave me a new spirit instead. Regrew my heart of stone, gave me heart of flesh, He said. Would be more valuable than any physical might. A new spirit inside me burning with His light.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians 5:17 says if anyone's in Christ, new creation, old is gone, new is come, that's the price. He paid to give us not just strength but transformation, not just improvement but total regeneration of our spirit, our heart, our inner man renewed. He imbued me with His spirit, His nature, His life, not just ability to handle but victory over strife. Through being new, not just stronger but different completely. Romans 12:2 says be transformed by renewing your mind, that's what He did. Gave me new spirit, new way to live, not just powered up but reborn from above. John 3:7 says you must be born again. That's His love, giving us not what we ask, but what we truly need. Not just strength, but new life, that's His seed. Planted in us, growing into something beautiful, something eternal, something full and dutiful. He gave me new spirit, made me a new man. Not just a stronger version of my old self, but completely new. That's true spiritual wealth. By the transformation that His spirit has worked in me. Titus 3:5 says He saved us, not because of righteous things we did, but because of His mercy through washing of rebirth and renewal by the Holy Spirit. That's true worth, not strength renewal, not power but new life. That's how we end strife, not by making us stronger in our old nature, but by giving us new nature, new creator. Philippians 2:13, He works in us mightily, not just strengthening but changing us completely. That's better than the strength I asked for originally. A new spirit is what I needed all along. I wanted strength, He gave me a new spirit instead. Not just power in my muscles but life from the dead. Rising in my soul, transforming from within. Not just ability to fight but freedom from sin. I wanted strength, He gave me a new spirit instead. Moved with my heart of stone, gave me heart of flesh, He said. Would be more valuable than any physical might. A new spirit inside me burning with His light. New spirit, better than strength. Transformation, not just power, He renews from the inside. New spirit, from above, let's it grow. New spirit. So if you're asking God for strength today, be open to Him answering in a different way. He might give you new spirit, plant a different seed of transformation. That's what you truly need. A new spirit changes everything, breaks every chain, not just empowers you, but frees you to soar. He had bigger plans, better gifts to give. A new spirit, new life, new way to live. Not just surviving, but thriving in His grace. Not just strong, but transformed, seeing His face. That's the gift of new spirit today. Better than any physical strength you gain. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old is gone, the new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17.
Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9-9. Physical strength builds muscle, but spiritual strength builds character. Let me tell you how I learned the difference. I used to think that strength was measured by the weight I could lift. I was in the gym trying to find my gift, building muscle, breaking limits, pushing past the pain. But I was strong in body while my spirit was in chains. See, I could bench press 2 plates, squat 300 pounds, but I couldn't face my fears when nobody was around. Had the physique but lacked the heart to stand for what was right. Strong arms but a weak one when it came to fight. The fight that really matters, not the one in the ring, but the daily battles where your character's the thing that determines if you fold or if you stand your ground. I learned the hard way that real strength makes a different sound. It's not the clank of weights or the thunder of the bar. It's the quiet voice inside that tells you who you are. When everyone's against you, when you're standing all alone, that's when courage shows up, that's when you're fully grown. The gym made me strong, but Christ made me brave. One build the body, the other soul He saves. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. One gave me muscle, the other gave me purpose. Physical strength fades, but spiritual strength remains. The gym trained my body, Christ broke the chains. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. To stand for truth, to run a race with boldness. One build my friend, the other build my faith. The gym trained my body, Christ showed the way. The gym trained my body, Christ showed the way. The gym trained my body, Christ showed the way. Now I train with different eyes, every rep's a reminder that discipline in the gym makes me mentally tougher or refiner. But it's Christ who gives the courage to stand in the fire. This
speak truth when it calls me to reach higher. 1 Corinthians 9:27 says beat your body, make it your slave. So the physical training has spiritual implications to pay. The way for self-control, for endurance in the faith of muscle without mission is just vanity's embrace. I learned that the same dedication I get in my sets needs to be given to prayer through his word without regrets. The same intensity I bring when I'm pushing for gains, I bring the spiritual warfare, breaking demonic chains. See, the gym taught me that growth comes through resistance, and Christ taught me that faith grows through persistence. That just like progressive overload builds a muscle mass, trials and tribulations build the faith that lasts. The gym made me strong, but Christ made me brave. One builds the body, the other solely saves us. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. One gave me muscle, the other gave me purpose. Physical strength fades, but spiritual strength remains. The gym trained my body, Christ broke the chains. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. To stand for truth, to run the race with boldness. One build my frame, the other build my faith. Train your body, train it right, but train your spirit for the fight. Physical strength is temporary, but courage lasts for life. Discipline breeds character, iron builds the will. But only Christ can give you the courage to stand still. The world says run, the pressure's on. Christ trained courage keeps you standing then strong. Not by might, not by power, but by his spirit says the Lord. The gym trained my body, but Christ trained my sword. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. One gave me muscle, the other gave me purpose. Physical strength fades, but spiritual strength remains. The gym trained my body, Christ broke the chains. The gym trained my body, Christ trained my courage. To stand for truth, to run the race with boldness. One build my frame, the other build my faith. He showed the way, yeah, he showed the way. To be strong in the Lord every single day. Not just physical power, but spiritual might. The gym trained my body, Christ trained me to fight. So when you're in the gym pushing through the pain, remember there's another training that should remain. The spiritual discipline that builds the inner man. With Christ trains your courage to take a stand. Physical training is valued for a little while, but godliness is valued for every trial. So train both with intensity, with focus and with faith. One builds the body, the other shows the way. Train your body for the physical, train your spirit for the eternal. Both matter, both have purpose, but only one conquers the surface.
Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. There are days you don't need someone to fix you. You just need someone to sit with you. Like, I hit rock bottom, couldn't get off the floor. Not the gym floor where I push for one more, but the floor of depression where your spirit breaks down. We're getting out of bed, feel like lifting 1,000 pounds. They said just pray harder, read your Bible more, but I couldn't even stand, couldn't walk through that door of faith and hope and all the things I used to feel. Just numbness and exhaustion, it felt too real. Lay there in the darkness, tears on my face, feeling like a failure in this Christian race. Cause I'm supposed to be strong, supposed to overcome, but I was paralyzed by pain, emotionally numb. Then I felt a presence, not demanding I should stand, not rushing me to get up, not offering a hand. Just sitting there beside me in the silence and the mess. Jesus didn't need me moving to offer his presence. He didn't force me up, didn't push me to be strong. He just sat there with me and said it's okay, stay as long. Jesus sat beside me when I couldn't lift myself up. Didn't judge my weakness, just fill my empty cup. Not with answers or solutions, just his presence and his peace. Jesus sat beside me and gave my soul release. Jesus sat beside me when I couldn't lift myself up. Sometimes love me sitting down, not making you get up. He met me in my lowest, didn't wait till I was fine. Jesus sat beside me and said take your time. Now I understand what ministry really means. It's not always mountaintop moments or dramatic scenes. Sometimes it's just showing up at someone's darkest night. Not with sermons or with answers, but with quiet light. Joe's friends got it wrong when they try to explain his pain, but Jesus gets it right when he sits with us in rain. He doesn't minimize our struggles or our mental health fights. He just says I'm here with you through these long dark nights. See, we live in a culture that says pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but what about the days when you can't even find the straps? When clinical pressure makes it hard to breathe, when anxiety has you bound, when you can't believe, that's when Jesus demonstrates his love most clear. Not by fixing us instantly, but by drawing near. Sitting in the hospital room, sitting by the bed,
sitting in the struggle where we wish we were dead. He didn't force me up, didn't push me to be strong. He just sat there with me and said, it's okay, stay as alone. Jesus beside me, when I couldn't lift myself up. Didn't judge my weakness, just fill my empty cup. Now it answers all solutions, just His presence and His peace. Jesus sat beside me and gave my soul release. Jesus sat beside me when I couldn't lift myself up. Sometimes love me sitting down, not making you get up. He met me in my lowest, didn't wait till I was fine. Jesus sat beside me and said, take your fill. He sat with me in my darkest hour. Didn't need me standing to demonstrate His power. He sat with me when I had no strength. His presence was enough. He went to any length. Sometimes the greatest love is not pulling someone up, but sitting in their pain and feeling their cup. He's not afraid of our depression or our tears. He sits beside us through all our fears. He just sat beside me when I couldn't lift myself up. Didn't judge my weakness, just fill my empty cup. Now it answers all solutions, just His presence and His peace. Jesus sat beside me and gave my soul release. Jesus sat beside me when I couldn't lift myself up. Sometimes love me sitting down, not making you get up. He met me in my lowest, didn't wait till I was fine. Jesus sat beside me and said, take your time. So take your time. Yeah, take your time. There's no rush in my grace, you're already mine. I don't need you perfect, don't need you strong. I just need you here where you belong. So if you're on the floor tonight and can't get up, know that Jesus doesn't judge, He just fills your cup. Not with pressure to perform or get yourself together, just His presence saying, I'm here forever. You don't have to be okay, you don't have to pretend. He's not waiting for you to stand. He's sitting as your friend. Sit with Him, let Him sit with you. His presence is enough to carry you through. Where can I go from Your Spirit? Where can I flee from Your presence? If I go up to the heavens, You are there. If I make my bed in the depths, You are there. Psalm 39, 7, 8. I had nothing left, not even left, not even there, but He was there.
I reached the end of everything I had inside. Every resource exhausted, every tear I cried. Couldn't speak another word, couldn't utter another prayer. Just empty lungs and broken heart, gasping for air. It wasn't the physical breath, though I felt I couldn't breathe. It was the spiritual suffocation when you cease to believe that tomorrow's worth waking up for, that pain will never end. When you run out of strength to fight, nothing left to spin. I collapsed in that moment, not dramatically on my knees, but slowly, internally, like a building in the breeze that's been hit one too many times and finally gives way. My breath gave out, I had nothing left to say. No more, I'm fine, no more, I'll get through this. Just silencing my soul to suffocating the bitch. And in that vacuum where my words used to be, His presence rushed in like oxygen I didn't know I need.
When I had nothing, not even breath to pray, His presence filled the emptiness and showed me the way. My breath gave out, His presence filled the room. When I had nothing left, He became my living truth. In the silence of my soul, He was louder than my pain. My breath gave out, but He remained. My breath gave out, but He remained. Ooh. My breath gave out, His presence filled the room. Not with pressure, but with peace, dispelling all the gloom. When my words ran dry and I couldn't make a sound, my breath gave out, but His love was all around.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But His love was all around.
Yeah, Now I understand what Exodus 33 reveals, when Moses asked to see God's glory and see what's real. God said you cannot see my face, for no one may see me and live, but in his presence there's a glory that only he can give. That night when my breath gave out, I saw what Moses saw. Not with my eyes, but with my spirit filled with holy awe. That God's presence doesn't need my words, my strength and my performance. It just is overwhelming, infinite, enormous, like Elijah in the cave after running from Jezebel. Exhausted, done with life in his own personal hell. God wasn't in the earthquake, fire or the wind so strong, but in the gentle whisper where he been all along. See, we think we need to create space for God to show, but he's already there in places we don't even know. When our breath gives out and we got nothing to present, that's when we finally stop performing and finish.
I had nothing, not even breath to pray. His presence filled the emptiness and showed me the way. My breath gave out, his presence filled the room. When I had nothing left, he became my living truth. In the silence of my soul, he was louder than my pain. My breath gave out, not even know. My breath gave out, but he remained. My breath gave out, his presence filled the room. Not with pressure, but with peace, dispelling all the gloom. When my words ran dry and I couldn't make a sound, my breath gave out, but his love was all around.
In the emptiness, he was already there when I had nothing, yeah. He filled the air, not with demands, not with rules to keep, just his presence wrapping me in love so deep. I stopped striving and found his rest. My weakness was the doorway to his very best. When breath runs out, he breathes for us. His presence is enough, in him we trust.
My breath gave out, his presence filled the room. When I had nothing left, he became my living truth. In the silence of my soul, he was louder than my pain. My breath gave out, but he reigned. My breath gave out, but he remained. My breath gave out, his presence filled the room. Not with pressure, but with peace, dispelling all the gloom. When my words ran dry and I couldn't make a sound, my breath gave out, but his love was all around. His love was all around. Yeah, all around. When I couldn't speak, his presence made a sound. Not audible but tangible, but thicker than the air. My breath gave out, but he was there.
So when you reach the end of everything you have, when your breath runs out and you can't find a path, remember that his presence doesn't need your words or your strength or your performance to be heard. Just exhale what you carry, let him fill the space. His presence rushes in to take its rightful place.
Breathe him in, even when you can't.
His presence fills
The room where you stand.
I was crushed under pressure, I couldn't carry alone. The weight broke me completely, brought me to my knees on the stone. But in that broken place where I shattered apart, Jesus met me in the wreckage and held my heart. Yeah, I was in the gym pushing weight I couldn't lift, struggling with the bar, feeling my spirit drift. And the memories of pain that had nothing to do with iron, but everything to do with burdens I've been carrying, tiring my soul out for months, maybe years if I'm real. Lost, betrayal, depression, wounds that don't heal. On their own they compound, they accumulate mass until you're carrying weight from your present and past. And I hit my breaking point right there on that bench. The physical weight mirrored the emotional trench I was drowning in. Couldn't breathe, couldn't think, standing on the edge of a mental brink. The bar came down and I couldn't push it back. My spotter caught it, but I was under attack from everything I've been suppressing, all the pain. And I broke down crying in that gym, no shame, just pure release of everything I'd held inside. All the strength I pretended, all the tears I hid from the world, from myself, from God. Even though he was there in my breaking weight, and to show me that the weight that crushed me to the ground was the very place where his grace could be found. Psalm 34:18 says he's close to the brokenhearted. That's where my healing started. When the weight came down and I couldn't stand, Jesus caught me falling with his gentle hand. The weight that broke me became the place Jesus
of understanding His power with my strength within it. The weight that broke me became the place Jesus held me. The pressure that crushed me was where His grace compelled me to surrender, to let go, to fall into His arms. The weight that broke me kept me safe. Yeah. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9 says, we're hard pressed but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, struck down but not destroyed or hushed. That's what I learned when the weight broke me down, that breaking isn't failure, it's holy ground, where God meets us in power and glory and grace, where we finally start running, turning, face the truth that we're weak, that we need Him desperately, that our strength is insufficient to carry everything we see coming at us in life, in relationships and pain, but His strength is unlimited like the pouring rain that never stops falling, always available. When we admit we can't do it, when we're breakable, not invincible like we pretend to be, that's when His power flows through us freely. Isaiah 40:29 says He gives strength to the weary, power to the weak, when the vision's getting blurry. Not when we're strong and self-sufficient, but when we're broken and deficient in our own power. That's when He steps in, that's when transformation begins. I learned this in the gym under literal weight, but it applied to emotional weight at the gate. A breakthrough, the weight of grief and loss, a fear that broke me became where Jesus drew near. The widow's oil multiplied only after the vessel was empty. The disciples caught fish only after fishing all night fruitlessly. God's power shows up greatest in our greatest weakness. That's not defeat, that's where we meet His completeness. Job was restored after he was completely broken. Joseph was elevated after years of being forsaken. Moses led Israel after 40 years in the desert. God uses our breaking to birth His purpose, His concept of grace and power working in tandem together to show that our weakness and His strength can weather any storm, any trial, any weight that comes. The breaking is where His kingdom comes. That broke me became the place Jesus held me. In my weakness, His strength overwhelmingly filled me. I thought breaking was the end, but it was the beginning of understanding His power and my strength within. The weight that broke me became the place Jesus held me. The pressure that crushed me was where His grace compelled me to surrender, to let go, to fall into His arms. The weight that broke me kept me safe. Breaking isn't failure, it's holy ground. There is power, it's found in my weakness. His strength displayed, the weight that broke me is where I stayed. In His presence, in His grace, the breaking became my sacred space. Woo!